everybody, it's Karen from Waterfall Acrylics. Welcome to my Fluid Art channel. This week we are taking a break from all things bloom related in favor of completing the June monthly Patreon challenge, which is embellished ring pours. And I'm laughing because right before I turned the camera on, somebody put in our group chat, I'm tired of the ring pours. When's the July challenge? And I hadn't even, posted this video yet. So it just cracked me up. Anyway, there is a gal. Her name is Catherine Beals. And I don't know if she's still doing them, but she used to do these amazing ring pours and then embellish on top of them. And then sometimes she would gold leaf them. Sometimes she would make them into serving trays. Really beautiful, beautiful work. Whatever links I can find for Catherine Beals, I'll put it in the description section. She is our inspiration for this month. I've long admired her work, so we're going to give it a shot and attempt an embellished ring pour. Yeah, let me get you down. Hey guys, it's Karen. I'm going to do something different today, taking a break from the blooms to do a tree ring pour or a ring pour, same thing. And somebody asked me, well, what's the difference between a ring pour and just a straight pour? Like you're just pouring straight down onto the canvas. And the difference is if you don't move in a circular motion and you just let the paint pour straight onto the canvas as a straight pour, the difference is in the rings. A straight pour will give you something like this. These are called fingerlings. And see how they don't go all the way around? Because I just straight poured and then tilted for my composition. With the ring pour, the rings are going to go in a ring. Duh. So that's what we're going to try today. And then if it looks okay, it doesn't have to be perfect. Once it dries, I'm going to come back and embellish it. So for this one, almost like ombre colors. And I'll tell you about the colors as I layer my cup. This is just a little 8-ounce cup. This is a 12 by 12. So if you take 12 times 12 and times it, that's 144, and then divide it by 28, you get a little over 5 ounces of paint to cover the surface. I want 6 or 7 ounces so that I have room to tilt and play around. My pouring medium today is store-bought. I've never used this before. It was sitting in the back of my supply closet, and I'm like, let's break it out and see how it is. It's super thick, and it says that you can clean it up with soap and water, that it's water-based and non-toxic, and that it will make your colors a little more transparent. So I am using Atellier Pouring Medium. So what I've done is put 1 ounce of paint in my little 5-ounce cups and then 2 ounces of the pouring medium. And I did find I had to add a splash of water to thin it out because it was still quite thick. I have all 2 paints today. So I'm going to start with a little bit of white. This is Amsterdam's titanium white. And I'm just going to layer this cup. And I think I'm just going to pour down the side. So we're going to start with some white. I didn't want too much, so I used a 3-ounce cup just to check myself. So I'm going to go with white. And I have like 4 or 5 brands too. I'm really mixing brands today. That was Amsterdam. This next one, this is Artist Loft Level 2 paint. This is theirs Maple Yellow. So I'm going to go with Maple Yellow. So there's Artist Loft. Stop right there. Maybe a little more. Trying to save enough that if I screw up, I can go again. So there's the white, the Naples yellow. Next up is Amsterdam gold. Just the regular gold on top of the Naples yellow. Something like that. And then next up, so that was the Amsterdam. Next up is Arteza Pearl. This is Pearl Papaya Orange. So Pearl Papaya Orange by Arteza. And then 3 different blues. The next one is Amsterdam's Expert Series. This is King's Blue. So lighter shade of blue. Save some of that. And then next up is Liquitex Basics in Philo Cyan Blue. So like the medium blue, you know, light, medium, and dark. So there's the Philo Cyan Blue. And then finally, we're going to switch back to Amsterdam for some Prussian Blue. And I'm kind of worried that that is not enough paint. But I have white as a flow extender. So am I going to just go with this? This is an 8-ounce cup. And I got about 7 ounces. We'll see. We're going to give this a go. So I'm just going to put a little point. And I'm not going to worry right away about making rings. Definitely like halfway through, it'll be important. And I'm trying to do this so you can see the pattern and my hand isn't in the way. So I'm going to just stand here and go in circles. Lots and lots of Prussian blue first. And then the medium blue. And then light blue should be coming out. And there it is. And I tend to go fast. Like some people have the patience to go really, really, really slow. I am not one of them. Here comes the gold and the orange and lighter colors. Oh, and I'm going off track. So let me try to get back in the middle here. And I'm just going to keep making my rings. And this is where you have to exercise patience. And if you can't see, I apologize. But there's still a little bit of paint in my cup. So we're just going to make little itty bitty baby circles all the way to about there. That looks pretty good. Now my idea is when I embellish it, I want like early sunrise where the sun isn't up but the sky's lightening up and it's still dark around the edges. I don't know if I'm going to get it, but that was the initial idea. So I think I'm going to take my blues. I'm liking the colors very much because I can see the orange in there. So let me move this to the center. And I think I'm going to use my blues around the edges just because I want enough paint. So I'm not going to have to worry about a second cup because I'm pretty happy with this. So we will just use up the leftovers here. Now, a lot of people like to use a base to help spread the paint out and help the colors float on top of the base like a bloom technique. I prefer a flow extender to keep the paint from rolling under itself because sometimes you need it and sometimes you don't. So that's like my logic. So there was the medium blue. I forgot the light blue, but we'll just go ahead and kill off. We'll put a band of the Prussian all the way around. Oh, am I going to make it around? I might not. This might run out about here. That's because I put so much on the other side. Let me dig some out of my cup. And then let's see, I got a little bit more. Come on out. Good enough. Good enough for government work, I say. I'm going to give this a spin and then a tilt. I'm just going to let that slowly spin and put on some gloves. Maybe these spins are too slow because it's not really going anywhere, is it? All right, let me go a little harder. Oh, bumped it off the spinner and made it wonky. Let me stop a second. Oh my gosh, the orange is super pretty. Make sure I'm centered. There, whoa, there we go. I jumped back in the nick of time. And I want to stop this right about here. And what I think I'm going to do is, I like this. So my idea is that there is a sunrise coming. So where would that sunrise be for later? I'm going to torch for speckles. Got some density cells. Not really worried about any of those. But let me torch the speckles. See if we get any other little cells popping up anywhere. No silicone in this. And it's really not making cells. It's just popping the air bubbles. So that's good. And then what I think I'm going to do is determine where I'm going to put my silhouette in my embellishment. And I need to figure that out now before I do my corners, because that's going to make a difference in how I want my sky to look. And it's either, don't worry about the Prussian blue and just use the philocyan, which should darken up a little bit. This is, you know, how dark it is in the tube. And then I will do a silhouette. I wish my line work in here was a little more crisp. I'm going to tilt. I do like the line work in here though, so maybe that's the spot where to tilt to get the line work. Or here, because I love the blending of the yellow, the Naples yellow, gold, and the orange through here is really, really pretty. So maybe that's where it's going to be. So I'm going to tilt this, see if there's any, oh yeah, see how the middle is still running? Run, run, run. So we're going to let that go. And we're going to take it off of both sides. I'm just going to have it touch one side and then bring it back all the way and just let it go. It's like I was just over there. Make up your mind. I'm going to take that all the way across. I'm looking for the line work right now. So now I'm thinking about my embellishment and whether or not I take this all the way, because I just took it so far. Let me take it. Let's go all the way. So bear with me. Can you see what I'm doing? Kind of. I am just going to tilt it off. 3, 2. I don't think all of it has to go off, but a bunch of it. Like that. I'm going to bring it back. And then I'm going to scoop out a little bit of blue for this corner here. And here. I think I have enough from here. I might have enough of the Prussian blue to get the other corner. I made pretty much a perfect amount of paint. I have a little bit left of the other colors that maybe what can I do with those? Maybe I'll do a quick little video and throw some silicone into those other colors and just do a little flip cut. So let me see if I have enough Prussian blue for this other little corner, and I should. And then we'll give it a little spin. So I'm going to lose some anyway. Yep, get my sides here. And I'm loving my line work on both ends. So one little spin. Hop out of the way. And stop. And there is part 1 of my embellished. It'll be an embellished ring pour. Just making sure my sides are really nice. And there is like a little blip over here where the Prussian blue ran into the philocyan blue that I don't like. So let's dig out some philocyan blue and, you know, just fix it like that. All right, I'm going to put this away to dry and we'll come back with the embellishment part. Hey guys, I'm back. Obviously, I didn't film. Well, I did film. I'll tell you what happened. My big fat hand was in the way, like the whole time, because I forgot to set it up as an angle. I apologize. Painting's my jam. Filming and editing is definitely not. But I'm staring at this. This is just a 12 by 12. And I'm just going to walk you through a couple things and fix a couple things before I call this one done. So normally I would resin this and then wait a few days and then do my embellishment on top of the resin. And this time I kind of decided, well, let's just give it 2 coats of spray varnish. I use Winsor & Newton Professional Series Gloss Varnish. And what happened is instead of using a really, really fine paintbrush that I'm trying to lay my hands on behind me to paint my trees, I decided, oh, it would be quicker. Like I have brushes like this that are really super fine to like do trees and things. I decided to just use Posca pens because I have this color here. This is just, what's it called? Well, it's just called blue. But I have 2 different nib sizes, which is handy. So all I did was I used a ruler, not a tongue depressor, and made a double line across and then made my little hills and everything and then made my trees. I think this is upside down for you guys. I think it would look like this for you, right? And now I'm thinking my trees are ever so slightly small. So real quick, and I kind of smudged in between my double line here. So I'm going to clean that up. But my trees, what I can do is just use my bigger nubby Posca pen. And if I'm going to make the trees slightly bigger, then these little hills I have in the background, I am just going to make those ever so slightly larger as well, so that the perspective stays the same for both. So just like making an extra little line, making these slightly larger, and you know, you can do whatever you want here. So there's one side, flip it over kind of sideways because I am a lefty, prone to smearing my own art. So I do find that drawing on resin is easier than drawing on the varnish. I mean, it works, but there were a couple times where I felt like the marker was catching on the varnish. So there we go. This one doesn't look quite right. Let me fix him. Make him match the other guy. Like that. So, and then for the trees, I'm just going to make a couple of them larger. And all I'm going to do is just kind of go over some of the branches and have them come out a little bit at the top and bottom. And I don't have to do them all, just a couple here and there. And these are the easiest trees in the world to make, because basically you're just making a stick and wiggle lines. Because they're pine trees, you know, off in the hills, getting all beat up by nature and the wind and whatnot. So that's a little bigger. See how this one looks like a stick compared to this one? So I'm just going to flush out this guy too. Put some meat on his bones, a little bit here and over here. And I'm not worried if it doesn't match the reflected tree exactly. Close enough, I say. And then maybe make this guy up here slightly taller too. And then I like to switch back and forth between this nib size, which is, what is it, 1.3 millimeter, to this one, which is 0.7, so much finer. So you get little wispy little lines with this guy. And kind of fix him down here on this side. I just wanted some of them a little bit taller. Maybe this guy here too. He can be a little taller. Here and here. And then to fix my line, so that's all I'm doing. I find the trees are really kind of easy. And then I'm gonna take my Posca pen and where my hand had blurred. And I'm left-handed and I know better. Like, I'm always like, watch your hand, because, and people say, well, just go right to left. And it's not as easy as that, because your brain is trained to go left to right from reading, from just life. It's a right-handed world. So when I go this way, it feels very unnatural, because I am used to going this way. Anyway, I digress about the woes of being left-handed. So I'm just going to put down my tongue depressor here, because I can't lay my hands on the wall on my ruler, and just kind of fix this white line and brighten it up all the way across where I kind of smudged into it. There. Let's see how I'm doing. And I do want it a little bit wider so you can see it. So all this blue stuff that I smudged, we're just going to cover it up and go over it. Something like that. Yeah, like that. And then right here I smudged it. So I'm just fixing all my boo-boos in front of you guys. And then I am going to resin this one, because you are able, if you decide to just put down a couple of coats of varnish, that way you can erase your mistakes with some, I just use some isopropyl alcohol on a paper towel, and like if I made a line or a mark or something, you can just wipe it off and it'll come off the varnish. It does dull the varnish, I found. So because of that, there are parts of this where the varnish isn't as sparkly as I like. So I think I'm just going to resin over it. Resin this one. Just fixing my line work right here. And I did make little trees on the side too, even though if I frame this, they'll get covered up. But there it is. Let me hang it on a wall or plop it in something so you can see it. Hold on. All right, guys, there it is. Just plopped it. I love the natural light by my window here. So definitely going to resin it, like I said, and frame it. I wish maybe I'll do this again and add some color, like a contrast color between the orange and the gold. Like, it's really pretty, but you can't really see the line work as well as you can down here. I think my silhouette is better now. Maybe it needs a bird or something, a couple birds. Yeah. If you see this in my studio later on with a bird or something, you'll know I went for it. But for now, I'm calling it done. Here's my little tree on the side. Can you see it? Because I'm a goober. These things make me happy. Anyway, that's it for me today. Please like, share, and subscribe. Treat people with kindness. And if you can't be kind, then at least have the decency to be vague. I'll see you guys next week. Be well. Take care. Peace out.